is up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And this particular video review recap, I will be recapping Greenleaf Season 4, Episode 9 review. Shout out to my YouTube fam. When you're not part of my YouTube fam, don't forget to hit that subscribe button over here. And don't forget to, ring that bell to get all notifications and like and share this video, y'all. I wanted to get this out the way. Oh, y'all, let's get ready because it looks like we're gonna have a lot of popcorns. A lot of things want to say, but again, I stand. Carissa sprained on still gives on my damn nerves. Charity Case gives on my damn nerves. Phil of the Penguin is let me get to this real quick. Now we got the first episode. I usually sometimes I go in and out of order, but I think it's very important. Not even 5 seconds before we begin, the first thing we see Judy. Which whether y'all watch horror movies or not, we know how it's posted all through the internet, even commercials and stuff. And I don't watch, like I said, I can't stand horror movies, stuff like that. I don't care that comedy. I don't care, whatever. I'm not into that. Into those type of movies. But anyway, y'all know how Annie, right? It's supposed to be a new one called Annie, and it looks like the doll. And Judy's ugliness is really starting to. She was giving some sneak previews of the a-hole that she was, but I mean this time she really showed it. And I mean, if they were to have her play the actress, the attitude, Judy just reminds me if the doll Annie, the evil doll Annie, could be morphed into her in a human form. That's what she reminds me of. This cringy, creepy, a-hole, and, praise the Lord, and got a knife in her hand. What no type of helpers. And just, oh gosh, just go away, Judy. Go away. But I'll get to her in a second. So we got Phil that goes in there to tell, Grace is just, he comes right in. He just stumps right in the first thing. He says, like, hi, how are you doing, Grace? Phil the Penguin, right? And Grace is like, he was like, it'd be best, you might as well go ahead and resign. And she's like, excuse me? And he's like, well, I have evidence and I know that, you lied to police and stuff like that. So either you resign or, you can, I'll put it to the police, whatever. And then he had nerves like that to say, God is good at the end. And, Grace, you should be looking like this, right? Sideways, right? And he walks out. And Phil has proven to be not only with venomous behavior, to be vile, to be a grown boy, to be evil, to be vindictive, to be trash, to be toxic, to be a Judas, to have this toxic and slimish chemical behavior that is vile in his soul. And yet he continues to be a man of God, but he is nothing more than a sinister snake, or let's say Tasmanian devil or hyena that follows behind the master and coonish and has this hatred towards a woman that he feels positioned. But then again, because he couldn't do it himself and had behind Bob the Builder or Bob the Blocker, that he is going down this route and pretends to be more snakish. I would love to see him fold. I mean, vengeance is God's, but let's just say here, karma. If you do wrong, karma can be good and karma can be bad. So let's see how Phil is thinking that this is going to be in his favor. And due to the fact to his jilted lover, which is Annie, the horror doll / Judy, I want to call her Annie. So y'all remember if I start calling her Annie and say if I made a review whether the next season comes up, when the next season comes up, hopefully I'll still reviewing that. That's her name because she's the horror doll that comes to life that's in these, these new horror things because that's what she's giving me. We also see Corinne there, and she is like, or this ticket thing. Judy comes in like this. Hi, well, I want the bypass laws. I was running, get me in it. And Corinne's like, I can hear everything you're saying. And then, here goes Annie / Judy, talking about some, I was waiting for bypass laws, whatever, and whatever. She was like, I'm trying to find you Amy Grant. And I remember, y'all, do y'all remember that song, Baby, Baby? And she the same one, or is it somebody else? I could have sworn it was her that was singing that song. But anyway, she trying to find her, but she's like, okay, good. But after you get me Emmy great tidbits, and that's what I'm saying. What does that have to do with of the Lord? Even her searching for tickets for her for Amy Grant. What does it have to do with Helen Hazardous or anything that is pertaining to the church or or whatever, right? So, but she does that, and then like I said, it was a lot going on, and it's like, okay, the season for that. Like I said, it's a lot. But here's another thing. Now, Carissa blames it all with now her dirty draws because, Fernando was forgetting back on all this time. Now, we see another scene that she's having nerves audacity. First, she's trying to ask Jacob again. Jacob was about to meet Dante at this, it was a sporting bar-like club thing. I don't know if it's like a David Buster's, whatever, but that's what he's opening up. And Jacob is going to meet him. He got his red devil, he represented like, he got a job back or something. And, Chris is saying, I was like, well, hopefully this is worse because, remember, Dante's the reason why you lost both of your jobs. But he's going to meet up with him. And Chris is saying, well, again, is still trying to ask about because of shares, maybe Grace and Charity Case can buy him out the house, whatever, buy the will and the shares to get this house. And Jacob was like, well, you go ask mommy yourself or whatever and take your chances. I'll be praying for you. Okay, see ya. Do. What about his way, right? And also we have another scene, like I said, it's just like Grace really be carrying grace. Sometimes has a little too much grace. Not to say you can't have enough grace, but sometimes I'm surprised she hasn't snapped yet, to be honest with you. Now, she has when she had to protect herself against the monster Mac, whatever. But other than that, I think that's the only time I've seen her where she has spazzed out when needed. Because when she went to Ashley, soon as Filth the Vile Snake, yes, a master went, Sinister Phil, the penguin, she goes to even ask Charity, like, you think, well, okay, what did you tell Phil? Here you go, Charity, in case you, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she went up to her kind of like in a way like, hey, I know you had to have said something for him, like stuff, even though she's claiming like, oh, I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about, everything. And then Grayson went back and said, like, really, you really are going to do this on person? You're like, basically, you're doing all this for what? What is your purpose? And here go Charity Case telling Grace, like, well, I didn't do anything wrong at all. You brought it upon yourself. And Grace, does the, and just leave. Like I said, oh, great, just one time, throw your damn shoe at her forehead. Just something. I don't think that's right. But I mean, I'm just saying he threatened for her to resign anyway and has this evidence on or whatever. Shoot. Well, no, wait till you get home. They don't want to make a difference because it's off the clock. So anyway, there's another scene where Grace, Connie Cash Out, and I think this is her name Claude or whatever, and Judy / Annie the horror doll, the horror Kiro doll, are they're meeting, and it's something wrong on the lines like, first they're pretending like they're agreeing with them to, like with these votes or how they're, Hells and Hatters are trying to get half of the seats, whatever, right? But they still got to talk to Connie Cash Out. And, Dad is supposed to be, because, racism causing her mom. But I was surprised at that time she didn't tell at that time about Phil the penguin came in there and waddling in with his, waddling in with that information, right? So she's like, she already forbid Dad not to say anything about, knowing Connie Cash Out. Because Corinne not only lose her job, but that could bite their tails and come back to bite them, okay? With that information as is. There's a lot of things that's like, okay, what the heck's going to happen next, okay? So, also, what Jacob had left again, Ferendo tried to call Carissa, explain it all, and she ignored the call, whatever, right? But it's even suspicious, like I said, like, kind of in the way Carissa and both Charity Kate should have been checked this episode. God check, Bible thumb, somebody should throw the Bible right middle of their heads or something, just something, whatever. Okay. Anyways, we see another scene where Sophia's still there, whatever, right? And they didn't show like where her and Dante is at, but she's talking to her mom, of course, because she's already confronted her about, Phil threatening her, I guess, first. She didn't, I don't think she like flat out like we seen it when she directly told, her about it. But Sophia decides to leave some message and went straight to voicemail AJ phone. She said basically, I know that you may feel some way about your mom, but she can possibly get in trouble and go to jail for this, whatever. So please, I don't deserve this or anything like this or whatever. So please, I don't, like change your mind, like how you just ran off. And it makes it even more guilty for him to even do that. So he wants to claim, oh, he didn't do it or anything. He wasn't even there. And he looked like he fit the profile. Let's just say coincidence. I mean, I even have a gray hoodie. But I mean, I got these. You know what I mean? I'm just, I ain't got nothing to do with it. What I'm just saying is, I mean, not to say a gray hoodie is not a common color, but coincidence, um, and you got bags of pills. Like I said, did anybody pay attention to the names on the pills and what the pills? Better yet, on the pills and what the pills were and what they were used for. And I'm wondering if that would come to play because it's possibly, like I said, that it could be the drug addiction, or he could be selling, or they could be selling, and or both, or he could have an illness and doesn't want to disclose that he has like chronic illnesses, or he's sickly and don't want to say anything and has a standoffish approach where the sometimes some people be standoffish, they turn out to be foolish and or stupid, and that's the point where he's becoming so standoffish and so anyways, so Sophia's not going back. She was doing like a 6-week program, and she says, summer's program course, and she's saying, no, I'm staying here, Mama. I'm staying with you because of anything. If I'm going, I have to stand up with you if I care concern. So Sophia's back to like realizing she has to be there for her mama because if they're crying a little bit teary-eyed, basically with everything that is going on just with this, okay, whatever, right? And Charity, I noticed too. Well, even though Grace walked out saying she had that little guilt trip of guilt for 2 seconds after Grace had left. But like I said, Charity Case is gonna have to find out in the long run. This ain't gonna work too well because this Elizabeth is not of God. It is not organic. She did not sow her seeds in the harvest. If anything, it would be a rotten fruit and a rotten seed. So I don't know what harvest she's expecting to get. If it is there, it's going to be a bunch of vultures biting on this stuff and just taking over into groundhogs. That's where the heck it's going to end up, okay? So anyways, sorry y'all, this thing is sticking a little bit, but we're going to keep it going. Now, there's another scene where James decides to pay bits of the county cash out, which I don't, because, we're trying to make sure that the committee keeps most of the seats, and Harold Hazardous cannot take over the board. In other words, the board, I think with no problem, just any place that has like boards, they have a lot to do with the decisions of who's in power and stuff like that. I think, correct, as far who's overcharged this whatever organization it is. And in this case, he talks and tries to tell Connie. Connie was like, already it's an embarrassment that, how Connie Cash Out is. Already it was embarrassment the little performance your wife gave, blah, 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 and this and that, whatever. And she basically like, whatever. Because, she's all for, yeah, she is hell and hazardous. Yeah, she is hazard profit. Ching, ching. Every time she nods her head, you can probably hear the cash register noise. Ching, 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 ching. The old school cash register, we basically got like, most of these new technology ones is like iPad-ish and stuff like that. You know what I mean? More technology. But it's ching, ching, ching. Okay. So James, hard-headed, but could not resist. And as soon as she walking, she walking like, she just got a new, she got a new suit on, whatever. Okay, right? The new one that just came in last Sunday. He's like, you know what? Don't think I didn't know that Harold Hazard has been paying you off. And first she was like, okay, whatever it is. And then he made out, because first she still wasn't like phased by it. But guess what? He started saying check numbers, routing numbers, the date it was used. Her daughter is saving it as well, or waiting for it to cash out a certain check. So he's saying dates April the 7th at 3 a.m., blah, blah, blah. You went to Pittsburgh Bank, whatever. It just, I was like, no, Jay. But I knew he couldn't resist. He could not resist. Actually, they were better off just leaving that alone. And after knowing that Connie cashed out, she should have been slapped back into wherever the heck she stays at her residence. After that disrespectful thing of saying that May made up about being, unfortunately, a victim of abuse, and sitting up with that. But for her to do that, so y'all won't take any chances with James. Even though I think she first like little bit more percent than they made, whatever, she still despised him. She is bought. Okay, she's kind of, to a certain extent, just like Phil the Penguin, like, it's a master, basically, to a certain point, the highest bidder, so it's just that when she said this, so she went, I think she didn't say too much, but they cut to the next scene, but she's still wearing the house, whatever, but you can already tell she looked like, wait a minute, I already know how this goes. So, we also have a scene where we have Judy / Annie is talking to Phil, and she's been sitting there probably playing, looking at you version, looking for a new reading plan, and she was like, so what about this? So how do you charity? Or how are y'all together? Or is this serious? And for her to be about to have a divorce, whatever, I don't know how long they Harefield have not been fooled around or whatever, and having sexual escapades, but she's still pressed. And she was like, basically, what do you see in her? And basically type of thing. He's just like, well, y'all have a lot in common, blah, blah, blah. I forgot what he said because it's really some BS. But she was like, oh, but you're with her. It's okay. Oh, so you started, dating black people, black woman. Is that what it is? Blah, 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 blah. But why is she so pressed if she's just asking? She's very jealous. And I wonder, and I hope that comes out about his slimy tail. And I wonder how Bob the Builder, or Bob the Blocker / Bob the Builder, is going to feel that Phil the Penguin has been using his rod up in his daughter. Who knows how many times, okay? And we all know that rod been somewhere else. But anyway, so anyways, she wants to meet up with Charity to see what she is. And he feels like, what? Because he's like, okay, she a person, whatever, but she's still like, okay, whatever. But I want to, we should go out on basically like a group food date or whatever, but like a third wheel. And he feels like, but she's like, well, if he basically wants to get in and make sure he stays his place. I think something about his position or whatever, or make it that goes up. She wants to meet with this person. That already feel like I said is a dummy and don't realize he didn't play. When people do, some people are paying attention to malicious stuff, they don't look at the outcome of how much it bites them in the ass in the long run. So I wonder how he's going to do once he gets egg in the face, whatever. But hopefully it does, But he's like, well, he said something about like with the Grace thing, and he was just no, he didn't bring about blackmail or even the fact that this is an underground thing that he's doing with along with Charity case. But he's like this, just in case, Grace may not be here anyway. She was like, well, how would she know? She might be still my father's pet, because father's pet. How do you not know that? Because she also, I forgot to mention the last episode, had mentioned that to Graces if they really wanted her to run, the Helen Hazardous and suspension, or put, this on if she agrees, or, it's on their side, or they get all the votes or something like that, whatever. Just a bunch of BS promises, whatever, right? So, anyways, he agrees to that, and he also, talks Charity into, going on this thing, and it's just like, oh, it's just a friendly business match. You just want to see you, whatever, and then, but Charity was like, I think she had brought up about. I think about the Grace thing. It was just like so centered to see these two so happy about what they were trying to do in order to get on top and be servants and anointed ones that send the message of the Lord, which is disturbing, disgusting. So it's, but he said, they're going to go on this day. It's okay, and it will work out, whatever. And she's just not thinking. Well, that's nothing new when it comes to Charity. But anyway, so they agreed, and she wants somewhere where I want sushi. Well, you somewhere with sushi. How about we go there and we go there? Okay, we somewhere sushi. And so we'll get to that in a couple minutes or so. So also too, we see Nikki and Zora the Explorer are looking at something, and how this new place is going to go up. Because right before then, also Jacob goes to meet with Dante. Dante, are still cool. And he does decide to give a check. They don't say goes amount. Jacob's like, this is too much. And he was like, no, I'm just the man. I'm just the guy. So, but he's, Jacob does apologize, like I was doing too much, whatever. And he was like, it's okay. I understand and stuff like that, whatever. So he's supposed to have a grand opening, right? But he's already said he's passed. Nikki, was somewhat whatever, and how people are. He was like, the new girl's going to be coming up here. But he was like, he's starting to the point of trying to be serious. And, he already said possibly maybe serious. He's on to the next one, basically, in the process. But Jake was like, well, who is it? He was like, well, Miss Serious or something like that. He said, you'll see in the future. Mm-hmm. So anyways, like I said, when we see like Zora and Explorer and Nikki are talking, whatever, right? They're up there looking. Nikki was like, I helped design the place and everything and whatever. He didn't invite me or nothing like that. And so, it's interesting how Zora's on Nikki like on the couch, whatever. Because also Jacob did mention to Dante, how they still stay together and blah blah blah. And, like I said, that's what Dante said. I'm on to the next. It is what it is, and and she feels some way about not being invited, and they were, Zora's like, I thought we were going to eat, get some food, takeout, whatever, Grubhub or whatever the heck talking about, but Sophia was like, well, I'm not hungry and stuff, like, you know what, I'm going to leave, basically, and walks out, right? So we see later on, it turns out that Nikki and Zora decide to go dress up in the side first. It was Nikki really actually, I'm not gonna say peer pressure. She was like, "Come on, Zora, let's go to the, this party." They end up going, of course, and guess who Dante's with? Sophia is all hugged up with Dante, and of course Nikki started going because Zora was like, "Hold on, blah blah blah." Like, don't go over there. But of course, the person he was like, "Oh, you with her, blah 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 blah." Dante's like, "Okay, with it." And Sophia was like, "And what? Y'all broken up, so whatever." And Nikki's like, "You bitch," whatever. So actually got in between them, but it wasn't like surprisingly she was a thing where she was like a guest cousin. Like, okay, they may have certain problems, but she wasn't gonna have it where Nikki thought she was gonna put hands on Sophia. At least I seen myself. So the bodyguards basically broke it up, and I think escorted Miss Nikki and Zora Explorer out the party. So whatever. But Sophia's like, she does not give a darn, whatever. I'm kind of surprised watching Dante. Or maybe she's thinking like, oh, I got, oh, he ain't your man no more. He mine. And because it's Nikki, I don't know if that's the reason why. Nikki's an ex-man or whatever. Maybe that's why. Because she's like, oh, you taking over my spot and my cousin. I can take Dante. Whatever, Sophia. I mean, you were reading about the part being there for her mom and stuff, but this here, danger right there, okay? But anyway, did they go to 7-Eleven? Where the hell they went that night where they had that party, whatever? And she just rolled off with him or whatever. Okay, whatever. So now also we're going on to this date, but like I said before, I'm not going to get in particular order. James does admit to Lady May that he could see he said something. You know how Lady May be looking at James like, what did you do? And he's like, well, I had to tell my brother. She was like, why did you tell him that, James? You know how that's going to do this in the future? This could come along and destroy everything we worked so hard for. Why would you say that? But James is like, oh, everything gonna be cool. So this is something like this reminds me. This is where Jacob would get this stuff, some of this stuff from. Okay, it's just this here. Okay, from that, and he's like, it's gonna be okay. She's probably will help us and be on our side. And Lady May's like, you are a very wise man in several ways, but yet you still at times do something to such foolishness. You know what? Let me take my Bible. I thought I was going to bed tonight. I'm going to be in my prayer closet. Here we go. She just walks to the next room. Also, I forgot to mention is that Lady May, Carissa explained I had her audacity to first ask Lady May about like who would get the house, whatever. And I'm surprised that Lady May again didn't smack her because again, Lady May already and let Carissa know, like, well, I ain't got no time. First, people like I have to hide my stuff to hide the will. Carissa's been like, well, some people don't go around slapping their daughter-in-laws, but you asked for it, bitch. I mean, she's acting like she is the victim here, and then and you kind of she should have just said, I don't know what you're talking about, but here she's sitting out indirectly that she was trying to steal their will and stuff like that. But based on the previous, like Fernando knows some information and stuff like that, I don't know how it's going to come out, whatever, with all that going on, or But Lady May explains, okay, let me make it clear to you since you want to know. Grace gets the house. It's all equal shares. Grace, Jacob, charity case. They three get it out. But I was surprised I wouldn't even give that information like that because still I wouldn't feel comfortable enough, even though she's trying to say like, sell her shares so they can get enough money, whatever. I still would not trust her asking that type of information, considering that she's already, like you already know that put two together almost about her selling her the property to Hells and Hazardous, and then you turn around and give her that much information. I would have been like, Jacob, we need to have a talk. Okay, whatever. We don't need. you and that bitch gotta go. Okay, do something, because something is not right. Okay, with this, and nobody, maybe because of everything that's going on besides this, they're trying to save the church about Grace possibly going to jail or whatever. I think this is before the talk, but just the fact of everything that's going on and nobody's paying attention to the report about Carissa explains it all in her behavior, and Ferrando calls back again, and she's like, okay, it's over. She's like, he's like, I got something on the house, and she's like, we lost the house, whatever, right? And he was like, no, because Cash bid, with the dream house she was trying to get. She did all that banging on the couch, getting banged on the couch for nothing, pretty much, because she still couldn't get the house that she was trying to get. But he's like, well, you might have a chance to get the house or something that you're staying in right now, where you can have ownership. And something seems snakish about that. There's another scene where she's acting all nice and that Grace is not paying attention. She's acting like, first I was like, who's that lady that looks like Grace? And Carissa explains all this, talking to her so nicely and stuff like, I just want to be able to sell my part of the share, our part of the shares, so we can get out this house. Me and my, and Lady May are not getting along so well. Even though like this violin story, whatever. But then I noticed she was trying to find information about where did Grace get the money from. She was like, I don't know if you have a little money, something like that. Grace like, yeah, I got some. Oh, where'd you get it from? Grace like, okay, it's a long story, basically, like, in a nice way, say none of your business, which it isn't none of her business. She basically got her extra check for being it cash before, but how does she really get that money? So when she can explain that, even if she does explain, that's not her business to ask. Why is she asking questions about where did Grace get her money from? That is not her damn business. Chris explains it all, but she's talking about, well, even though our shares can go up to 1 million, whatever, but she's like, what's anything past like 250 something G's, we can deal with, we can work with, and so forth, and go from there, or at least 50, 500 mil, I mean half a mil, or something in between that, whatever. So I don't know, but I guess maybe she got theirs because she had all these candlelights. I guess Winnie slept in Zora's cabin, I don't know what it was, and her Jacob, when he came back from Dante, whatever, he was saying about, I guess, like the money that was going to be funded to the school of excellence. And then she's like, oh, I got some good news too, but the same thing. Looked like they finished smashing, and she looked like she was going there and, have a conversation with this Rod. And, and give them extra thing after they just got through. She's like happy as heck, whatever. But like I said, some snakish behavior, of course, explains it all. Okay, as usual. Also, we have another scene whereas Judy / Annie, the killer dial. Okay, wait a minute. Let's go when they go on this date, because like I said, I'm not going to particular order. They go top of my head. Okay, now they go on this date. I don't know if it's like their version of Benihana's, but she's like, "Oh, you're getting steak and sushi, whatever, blah blah blah." I don't think they have sushi at Benihana's, but just whatever. But she's like this, and then she was, like, well, Phil is quite a person, whatever, whatever, he, and I think Carissa says, I mean, no, Carissa, wrong name. Charity Case is like, yeah, well, he's a people pleaser, it's people. She's like, yeah, that, he used to please, yeah, I know about that, about him being a pleaser, and Charity for a second, it like the light bulb was light a little bit. It shined. When a light bulb's about to die and it blinks like a light bulb, but it still has a little light in there. Charity for Case had one of those moments again where the light bulb was about to die, but it still glowed for like a couple seconds. That's where she was again. Okay, but the light just dies. That's pretty much what she does. Okay, so anyways, when she asked about, okay, well, how did y'all know each other? What's she talking about? Know the police thing. And then how here Pill to Pay was like, well, basically, what she mean is Pill to Pay this is like this and that is that if she wants me to go to McDonald's and get apple pie or something, I forgot what he said. But he tried to diffuse it. It was nothing leading on that they were sexually involved or had anything past, being, platonic. And then he's like, she doesn't know. And Charity, like I said, the pipe bubble is still lighting a little bit. And she's like, I'm about to pass. I see that knife right there, because how they up there grilling and cooking the food in front of you, on that stove. I don't need to say stove top, but just the cooking grill area. And she's like, I'm about to take this knife. Y'all don't tell me what the heck is going on. And I'm surprised Judy Annie, the killer dialed and feel offended, but I guess they didn't tell her. But I guess it's only worse. But about they used to be involved, but it's a long time ago. Okay, whatever. And again, the light bulb dies because after they left there, um, Phil was like, she felt some type of way about that. But he's like, I like you, like, Charity. You have to believe me. That's been a long time ago. It is what it is. But I love you. And here's the keys. Here's the keys to my apartment. And you're gonna take a look you want. But guess what? Um, you're gonna see a picture of the day we met that I have in the refrigerator. Why the hell you got a picture of a day we met that I didn't even ask your ass to take whatever? What sense does that make? What the hell shrine do you have of me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't be different if like go together, but she ain't paying attention. Like, even if that is true, he has pictures of whatever. What are you making a damn bulletin board and investigating my ass? What I'm just saying is, it, like I said, the light bulb stayed. So that's not really romantic, but uh, because okay, so you were doing that at the same time while asking basically backstab her whole family basically by coming after Grace and going for a five-way position, but you fell in love with her. Chase, like I said, the light bulb died, and the light never came back. Just blacked out in little specks at the bottom. Because she's just like, oh, you do love me, yeah, you love me, and they kiss each other. And I'm like, Charity, you stupid. Okay, but like I said, there was a little light bulb, but okay. So they post be together, whatever, and based on the previews, he's gonna nervous to ask for propose. Now we see also in another scene, it seems like the next day or whatever afterwards. And about the whole thing, like Judy and he killed her. Okay, it was one scene where her, Connie, and Connie Cash out and were talking. And Connie lets them know that James knows about the bribe and stuff. So of course he wants the committee still keep holding. The only reason why hopefully that doesn't get out is if they keep the committee over the amount of seats of 64%. But of course they're not Kareem, unfortunately, that means she got messed up. The Grace Greenleaf better have a job for her now because Kareem risked her job for doing that, and James put her job on the line and whatever else was on the line. So Annie come in there, and I don't know what's that. I guess it must have been. I hope that was the work laptop and not this bitch, crazy bitch, evil bitch up there taking Kareem's laptop. She came in there. You know what? You're fired. And then she comes to Grace, like this, like I said, like the evil bobblehead bitch that she is, and coming there like, did you know about this? I thought you were on our side. And Grace really did not know what she was looking at. I guess she wanted to look in her eyes and, look in her, mischievous, evil eyes of envy because she wants to feel to herself, whatever. And I wonder, will that come out? Okay. Still to herself. And she asks her, like, because like I said, yeah, Connie did say Kareem had do that's the only way he got the information. So like I said, Kareem got fired. And she asks Grace, like, I thought you were on our side, blah, 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 this and that. Did you know what's going on? And, something like that. And Grace is something like, which father did something like, she was like, what are you talking about? Or something like that. Whatever she kind of further in. She looked around, she just kind of just walked away and walked out of Grace's office. But she really was confused and did not know what the hell was going on. Like, what are you talking about? Like, really? What? So, anyways, she is basically, like I said, walking out of the office, whatever. And we'll get. I don't think her parents ever even actually really told her, or at least I don't recall that, y'all. Like I said, I'm not gonna remember everything, and that's what whatever. So, and that's why I go to more than one person and reviews this show. It's always great. But anyway, so. Anyways, also another scene, Zora the Explorer and Sophia are like eating breakfast, whatever. Zora's like, what did you do that for? Like Sophia was like, what? I'm grown, I can do whatever I want, whatever. It's no loyalty to her, nothing like that. And Zora's like, when did you become a hoe? And blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And, Zora's like, I don't care. And she's like, why would you do that and you already ain't got no friends? And Nikki could have been your friend. Well, that could have been cool. That don't mean like Nikki had to be her friend or whatever, because doesn't require. But she basically said, why would you do the potential to have a friend? And Nikki ain't technically don't know if it's your friend neither. You don't barely know him. Yeah, she up there living with you, y'all roommates and every darn thing, and you better not remember. Nikki wanted to like check Zora's ass when she was still when she still was looking at Dante, whatever. And then all of a sudden they BBS forever and stuff like that, and get matching friendship tattoos and stuff. And this is all in 1 month. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just saying the way that they're acting. Okay, so But then it just goes to another subject. So Phil was like, it is what it is, and I'm gonna do what I want to do, whatever. And he ain't with her no more. What you know, I don't owe her anything. Okay, period. I mean, technically you too. Okay, so she's just like whatever. But so dang, this is about to run 40 minutes. So the second to last scene, it's like, oh, I forgot to mention again that Phil the Penguin. I'm not gonna go to all day and June talking there. Still, she also mentioned like basically keep Charity Case happy and stuff like that. He was like, oh, okay, I'm listening to you, keeping her happy because something about when she finally read the bylaws that she got printed out obviously before Corinne had left or whatever the case is to fired her. She was like something along the lines. I guess even if there's still 10 seats and somebody I think from like maybe the Greenleaf, the part, like family that's still on the board, whatever, they can still vote and still have like certain control over the board, or still have certain control overall. Okay, so Phil ain't saying nothing like I ain't gonna do whatever, but like I said, it was posed between Phil the Penguin Charity Case about this Grace stuff. He still hasn't told anybody else yet about this evidence they're trying to use on Grace. So also Grace, one of the last scenes, has a talk with her parents and about what she's going to do next. And here's later. I mean, first they're like, you know what? Because Grace feels this type of way. If say, because she got to, she basically tells what Phil the Penguin has done and whatever, and she even says like, I know Charity was the one giving it. And surprisingly, instead of her parents the same about confronting Charity, they're up here saying like the Charity case that she is and trying to make it seem like Phil is the one manipulating her, as if she doesn't have a counter responsibility for being snaky. She was like, I know 9 times out of 10 that she gave some evidence to him about this. And here go Lady May. Oh, he just, she followed Phil. Phil got in her head. You know how she is. And here go even the dad was like, well, she just followed Phil. You know how she is, whatever. And he got her mind, blown up like a balloon. And I'm sitting here like, y'all. And even Grace was like, okay, maybe I'll come back as the younger child. So y'all just really just gonna act like Charity is not the issue with this, but they decide this like Grace is considering like just stepping down, especially if she finds out ever that AJ is guilty. And Lady May is like, what if he is guilty? Whatever. Just the fact, like I said, the risk, and they don't want her getting arrested. And then, you got the dad, like, do what's best for your son. The main man was like, do what's best for your soul. Don't give up. They kind of both are like, don't give up. But Lady Grace is like, if he is guilty, I'm just gonna step down. I don't have time to be doing this and everything is already on the line with everything going on. I would just step down. But if he's not guilty, she will stay up there or whatever, or he didn't do this, whatever. Even though part of her still wants to believe that he didn't do it, because like Larry May said that obviously he is, because she's like, you don't know that, Mom, But they were also saying like, no, you tell your story and stuff like that, and what Phil's doing and stuff like that. And then Grace is like, what about the cop? Can I get in trouble and stuff like that? And Lady May is like they will sit here and do all that stuff like that. I would eat my own hat. And then James was like, which one? And then I'm thinking like, really, like, I thought like Grace, based on the previews, was going to do it different than what it turned out, right? But they're basically saying like, don't give up hope and don't fight, even with this is going on. Okay, whatever. So Sunday service is about to start. Here go Charity Case, I'm just gonna do my verse song. I am a fake prophet. I am a Judas at heart. I will stab my sister in the heart of my family just to get financial gain. Amen. That's really, really what she really was saying, because that's really her mentality. Okay. So after she sings her song, Grace goes up there with her Bible and she's about to turn to Luke, and I forgot whatever the verse was. And then all of a sudden, AJ just walks in and he still looks sickly, kind of in a way like he's already looked. He ain't saying nothing. He got a white t-shirt on and wearing with some khaki pants. First, I thought he was in all white because he even came in hunting us like as if he was like a spirit, like a vision or something, almost like a ghost or like a vision that came like in a human form. You know what I mean? In real life time. And all of a sudden Grace was like, oh, okay. What page was it? And then, everybody looked at him. And of course, the parents look back and they like, oh, Lord. And Grace again was like, and he's still just standing. He's still towards like the end of the pews, like back there yonder. And she was like this. You know what? She follows the Bible, changed it. And I first, because Lady Mae was like, "Don't do it." And I first thought Grace was just going to go ahead and kind of just say, "Forget it. My son's here. I'm just going to speak my truth. I'm not going to hide anymore. Ain't nobody to fear. I don't fear no man or woman. I only fear God." But I'm only gonna put it the Holy Spirit, the blood of Jesus, and just say what was going on and just take it from there. But instead, she says this. um, I'm as from this forward to change the plans. I'm stepping down. As the pastor. I resign. Blah blah blah. How Phil's looking. Even kind of like Charity didn't expect. She expected like Phil to tell you or whatever quarter. But Charity kind of looked blank faced. I thought a smirk was going to come over her face. But maybe y'all want that again. But I could have sworn she kind of looked at like she was surprised that Grace did it that way. Like she wanted to happen her certain way. But Grace, and that's kind of how it ended. And did what's his name? Even AJ even sit down? He still was just in the pews, and that's kind of in everybody's shock. Chris is playing all shocked. Everyone's just like, what the hell is going on here? And that's where it goes to the credits. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, y'all, hugs and loves. I'll see you next at the season finale, and whoo! If y'all look at the previews, it looks good. This season's been pretty nice. But anyway, y'all, hugs and loves, and I definitely see you next one. God bless, and enjoy the rest of y'all week, and see y'all next month. All right, and if y'all celebrate Halloween, be safe. Make sure that candy's safe and enjoy the festivities. Well, most of y'all probably did the festivities, probably this past weekend since it's on a Thursday. Okay, y'all. Of course, my camera would be sticking, but like I said, let me go ahead and I'm out of here.